Welcome back. If you guys are new here, my name is CrystalAnn, and today I have another sublimation video for you. We are going to be using our Sawgrass SG500 today to sublimate a mug. Now today I'm going to be using the Cricut mug press, and then I'm going to show you guys how we're going to design it right inside of Sawgrass Creative Studio. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Starting off over in Creative Studio, I'm going to show you guys a few different ways that you can actually design out your mug. So if you actually come to the blank products, we can type in mug, for example. I could type in my 11-ounce mugs, and just like so. And then we could bring up some of these mugs. I could also just type in mug if I wanted to, and you're going to see tons of different options. So we have full wraps as well as, your 15 ounces, 11 ounces, all of those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one right here. And as you guys can see, it's a full wrap mug. So whenever I design this, I can design it to where it's going to wrap all the way around the mug, and I can see that there. Now, the way that I love to design these mugs too, to have them absolutely precise, is I like to use the custom canvas. And I want to show you guys that today. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the camera so I can show you how we're going to measure the mug. All right, so to find our measurements, what we're going to do is we're going to take our mug here. So I've got my mug, and then I've got my ruler here. So what I love is these little sewing rulers like this. They come in tons of different, just a regular plain circle, or you can make it fun and festive like this one. So what you're going to do is you want to measure your width and your height. So if you're going to be doing a full wrap here, I pretty much know that I can sublimate around 9.25 wide. So I'll kind of start right about here because we know in our mug press, we've got to start right about in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler here, and then we are just going to measure all the way around. So I'm actually going to do, let me see here, let me back it up a little bit. I am actually going to, yes, so I'm actually going to do about 9 inches is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 9 inches wide, and then I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to do 9 inches wide, and I'm going to do about, I'm going to say 3.75. So let's see, I'm trying to think here actually. I'm going to do the 4 inches. So I'm going to do 4 inches by 9 is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys back over to Creative Studio. All right, so now that we're over here in Creative Studio, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the custom canvas right down here at the bottom. The very first thing I want to do is change my units. Now, depending whether you use millimeters or inches, you're going to want to change it. So I'm going to change mine to inches, and then I'm going to type in my width, which was 9 inches. And then if you want a little bit of a bleed line, you could do like 9.25, 9.5 if you wanted to. And then for the height here, I'm going to do exactly 4 inches high. Once again, if you want to allow for that bleed line, maybe you want to do about 4.25 or 4.5. So we're going to go ahead and hit create. Now I have this perfect blank canvas that is custom to my mug. So whether you are using the 15-ounce mugs, brands are different from one to another. Like for example, Cricut calls theirs, I believe, 12-ounce mugs. All right, so now that we have our blank canvas, let's go ahead and bring in a design. So we're going to come up here to the Designs tab right here on the left, and then I'm going to scroll down until I see Valentine's, and we're going to use the premium folder. So I'm going to click it here, and then I can scroll through here and find a design I want to use. Now, one of the designs I've been waiting to use is this one right here, this ride or die. It is so cute. So we're going to click on it, and then from here, you're going to see it comes out quite large. So what we're going to do to resize everything at one time is click Select All. And then we can use our these little black squares here to bring it down to size. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it until it reaches just inside of that box, touching edge to edge. So now what you can do is, if you're designing this and you want it on the center of the mug, you can do that. Or if you're wanting it on the left or right of the mug, you'll want to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and just scroll over here toward the left. And I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of a wiggle room like this to leave room for the edge of the mug area here that we're going to be at. So I'm just going to scoot it over ever so slightly like so. So I think this is going to be good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up to the top and hit Select All again. So this is going to release everything. So now what I'm going to do to make it the full wrap mug is I'm actually going to take and click on that very background layer like so. And then we can drag it out right here by using these squares. or come over here to the right-hand side where it says scale, and we can scale this out. And you see that just zoomed right across. So now we have a full wrap mug. So instead of one single design, we can do so. Now, another thing that we can do with this is we can actually change any of these colors of the elements we want to. So for example, I can change my background too. So having it still selected on the right-hand side, we're going to go to fill color, and then I'm going to go ahead and start to play around with colors. So maybe choosing something within like this blue here and something a little bit more lighter, like so. I like this. Now, while I have it right here on the right-hand side, I like this tone, like a pastel boho vibe. I can actually leave my dot right here in position, and then on the right, I can take this scale to keep it inside of that same color tone up or down until I really find exactly what I'm wanting. So isn't that really cool? So now I think I'm going to go ahead and come in here, something right about here. I really like this. I think this looks good. Now, once again, I can come in here. I can change all of the elements if I want to, but I think I'm pretty content with everything else. So I'm going to get ready to print now. So you could, once again, bring in more elements if you want to, but I'm going to leave it like this. You could also customize too by coming down to the text feature here, going to Creative Studio, the creative fonts here, and then you can type out. Say, for example, I clicked on this one here. On the right-hand side, I could type out, Crystal. All right. Then I can scoot this little guy over. We can size it out once again here or here. So we can definitely do this. And then I can center it up. If you need help centering anything, you can always turn on your grid to really help you kind of center everything up there as well. Once again, I'd want to kind of scooch it over just a smidge. So that way it's just not right up against that line there. So we could always do something super cute like this as well. I'm actually going to go ahead and leave it just to kind of show you that as well. Now, one thing we can do too is, once again, we can come change our color. So I could come down to fill color. I could also even do it white. The white I think is really cute. We may do that. I think I'll do that. I'm going to leave everything else, maybe scoot this over just a tiny bit more. And I think we're good to go now. So now we're ready to print it. I'm going to come right up here to print. And then I'm going to choose my proper printer here. So I've got, it's this one right here. And then I'm going to choose US letter. I'm going to choose that I am putting this on a ceramic mug. I've already got mirror turned on, obviously. I'm using TruePix Classic. And then I'm going to change it from photographic to vivid. That's pretty much personal preference. I like to use photographic myself for all of my portrait images. And then all of these things I like to keep real vivid and bright. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Once your print manager pops up, it's going to look just like this. If you're getting a green little button here, you're ready to go. You can double check your settings if you need to right here. I think we've got everything ready to go. Color still at vivid, ceramic mug, mirrors on, and all of those things. So we are ready to hit print. All right, so now it should be sending it right over to our printer. So while that gets ready to print out, I'm going to go ahead and pop this little guy out really quick, just so it's ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to start to clean our mug. So what you want to do is clean any sort of, debris or oils or anything like that. So our fingers have oil, so you just want to do that. You can use some rubbing alcohol as well if you would like. So we're just going to do that first, just like so. And then you need some heat tape. You're going to need some scissors or a paper trimmer to trim this down. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring my little paper trimmer in here really quick so we can get ready to trim this down. So here we go. So you guys can see our print right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this down. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim it like so. And then one more time. I'm not going to worry about, I was going to say the sides, but I did the sides. Let's go and do this, get that going again so it doesn't fall asleep on us. Here we go. Take a little bit more off the bottom and then the sides. All right. There we go. All right, so now we are ready to go. It should look something about like this. I love using the paper trimmer because you're going to get some clean edges, but you could definitely use your scissors. All right, and then we are going to get ready to tape this on. So now that we've already cleaned this, we are ready to apply it. We're going to take some heat resistant tape here. All right, and all the supplies I'm using today, I do have linked down below. All right, so we're going to get ready to wrap this. So what we want to do is I'm going to get it nice and centered around my mug like this. So I'll kind of hold it about like this and get that handle nice and centered. So a little bit more over this way. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to tape one side down. All right. Make sure we are centered too from the top to the bottom. I'm going to get one side down just like this. And then what's very important is now we want to make sure we're pulling nice and tight. So you don't want any sort of gap in between this. So that's what's very important. 2 pieces of tape, and now we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down into our mug press, like so. And then make sure it's nice and centered, and then drop it down. Now, I am using the Cricut mug press today, so it's already to the temperature and time for us. So what's really cool is I don't have to set the time or temp. So this thing here is set for 5 minutes. You've got 5 little flashing lights. So every time it changes lights, it means that a whole minute has passed. And then once it's done, you pop it open and you pull it out. So it makes it super easy. But you can definitely use a standard mug press, and then you would set all of those times and temps as well. So we're going to go ahead and let this bake in here for a good 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. And here is our sublimated mug. Now I've already peeled off the paper here so you guys can see how cute this came out. Now, once again, you guys seen that we were able to change that background. I could customize any of these little elements I wanted to. And then here is that super cute font on the back. It reminds me of very cartoonish. I love the way that it came out to go with the design on the front. Love, love, love this color combo as well. But this design is just absolutely adorable, ride or die. So I really hope this inspires you guys to get out and sublimate some mugs. And there you guys have it. It is that easy to sublimate mugs. I use my Sawgrass SG500 along with the Cricut mug press today. If you guys enjoyed this, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.